Call of Duty revealed their Black Ops 7 multiplayer today, and there is mixed reviews, with half of the audience saying they're not going to purchase due to SBMM, and the other half just simply feel bad for Travis Scott. Now, the purpose of this video is we're going to go through the reveal together and hopefully create a non-biased opinion on Black Ops 7 and figure out if this game is chalked or not. I've played Call of Duty my entire life, and the last 4 years, I've been a full-time Call of Duty coach for Call of Duty, but I don't have any relation, sponsorship, partnerships, or anything with Call of Duty, so I'm gonna give you my true, honest opinion. Normally, I'm a Call of Duty fan, and no matter how bad the game gets, I still find a way to enjoy it, but the reason why I'm making this video is because I am pissed. Now, there's 3 core topics that everyone's pissed about, no matter what background you come from. If you're a casual player, competitive player, Warzone multiplayer, doesn't matter. I'm sure everyone can agree on what Call of Duty needs to change for these 3 things. Starting off with skill-based matchmaking. If you remember, last year, Activision released a 25-page PDF file explaining how their skill-based matchmaking worked, and basically we learned that each individual player has a hidden skill rank that matches them into games that will purposefully last long and go the distance, just so there's less people leaving the game. Which, because of this system, that's why you're running into Prime Optic Gaming on the other team, yet on your team you have a bunch of Timmies that have never played the game before. Or if you decide to play with your friends who are casual or just want to play for fun, you will end up running into Optic Dynasty just because of your skill level, and then your friends just have the worst time of their life just because Call of Duty knows that the score limit will be extremely close in the end. This system affects so many other things, but another big one that people are upset about is not reloading into the same lobby, playing against the same enemy team, so you can have, some beef that you guys can hash out, or you can, do clan battles, right? Just like the good old days. Activision eliminated that because of this system. Now, moving forward, we do have a leak that Treyarch is apparently trying to remove disbanding lobbies from Black Ops 7, but there is no guarantee because at the end of the day, Activision does have the final say, and if they believe their skill-based matchmaking is allowing them to get money into their pockets, they're probably going to keep it that way. Hopefully we do remove disbanded lobbies, and I'd also like to see skill-based matchmaking only being a thing for ranked play, but that's a whole nother discussion, controversial topic for another time. Now, if you have no issues with skill-based matchmaking, you probably have an issue with the second topic we're going to talk about, and that is the servers. The servers have been awful. Now, a big reason why these servers suck is because Call of Duty and Warzone are actually on 20 tick servers. I believe Warzone is 20 tick, and then multiplayer is around 60 tick. But even if you get into private match, it ends up just being 20 tick. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, basically, having a higher tick rate for a game is way better than a lower tick rate. Playing Call of Duty, I'm sure this has happened to you, where you may be throwing a grenade, and as you die and throw that grenade, your grenade didn't actually throw. Or maybe you literally lit a guy up with 10 bullets, but you died in 3 bullets on his kill cam. That's because of the refresh rate happening on the servers, your computer compared to the opponent's computer. When you look at other games like Counter-Strike or Valorant, they're on 128 tick servers, which means those microseconds add up. So if you do see the enemy first, you are more than likely seeing them first and shooting them first. Now, you guys have also ran into the server issues with disconnecting, crashing. You've also had issues where you're lagging, packet loss, and of course, there was that one day where literally Warzone was unplayable. It was just lagging everywhere. So moving forward, I'd really hope Activision would invest into better servers, but we will have to wait and see. The third and final topic I think everyone can agree with is we need a better anti-cheat system. Now, I do give grace for anti-cheat systems just because creating an anti-cheat that actually gets rid of every single cheater is nearly impossible, but there are better ways we can go about this, such as get rid of the shadow ban system. Please. They honestly need to just get rid of it because we already have cheaters playing up into top 250 ranked play without getting banned at all. For the first time ever, I got shadow banned and I was miserable for a week because literally Call of Duty's my job. Like, what the hell are we doing? The worst part of all is there's people in shadow ban loops where the second that they hop into one game after being unshadow banned, they get shadow banned again. The worst part of all is working with people who actually want to put in the work and get better at Call of Duty, which when they do, they end up getting punished. when they actually perform and show that they got better, they now get put into the shadow ban loop. That being said, Activision is making players have to enable Secure Boot and TPM 2.0 on their PCs just to play Black Ops 7, which this will cause a dent in the cheater situation. However, it won't fully get rid of it. I don't think any game will fully get rid of cheaters. That's just gonna be an issue that we're gonna have to deal with and see how we do with AI in the future. I mean, out of those 3 topics, I truthfully believe that the server situation won't get fixed and the shadow ban situation won't get fixed. So 2 out of 3, I think Black Ops 7 is chalked. But of course, I like to think moving forward, being optimistic, Activision can affect their skill-based matchmaking. They can get rid of disbanding lobbies, which will just make the playing process that much more enjoyable. I do hope that they can invest into better servers, but that's a question if they want to spend that money. And then the third and final one is the hacker situation. Again, I'm not even saying they need to get rid of all the hackers and cheaters, but what I am saying is they need to get rid of that shadow ban loop system. And hopefully if they get rid of that, that will encourage the player base to continue playing and trusting in Call of Duty. Now that we're done going over those 3 topics, let's get into the reveal, and I'm gonna approach this from a ranked play perspective, starting off with Overload. Now, Overload is rumored to be the 3rd game mode to replace Control, but we don't have anything finalized yet. As we go over the description of Overload, it's squads clash over one device that must be carried into the enemy's territory to score. Now, this reminds me a lot of the Assault ranked play mode in Halo, where basically you pick up a bomb, you take it to the enemy's base, you have to plant it and then let it blow up. So I'm very curious to see if that's what Overload is all about and if it is competitive. Now, specifically, this is the bomb that we're going to take to the enemy's base, plant to score. I am curious though, what is the defuse timer? If you plant it, can they even defuse it? When you pick up the bomb, are you going to be able to shoot? Are you not going to be able to shoot? Are you going to be able to hip fire while running? Are you still going to be able to wall jump? Does this affect your movement at all? There's a lot of questions I have for this game mode. I'm very excited for it though. I do think this could potentially replace Control just because a lot of people are tired with Control. Now, another 3rd game mode that a lot of people were speculating, but we have no information on is Uplink, which if you guys have ever seen Uplink gameplay, oh my God, it is basketball in Call of Duty. It is the best game mode I have ever played. Super fun, but we don't have any news on it. So we don't know if they are going to come out with future news, but if they don't, then there's a potential that the 3rd game mode will be Overload or Control. We'll have to wait and see. Now, in terms of maps, we don't have much information on which maps will be competitive or not, except for the maps that are returning, which I will say Express, we will more than likely see this be a map for S&D. Raid, we could see this for all 3 game modes, Control, S&D, and Hardpoint. For Hijack, I don't see that being competitive at all, even though it was played in Black Ops 2. I just think enough people understand that, you know, with it being a 1-lane map, basically, it's not worth playing. And then for the rest of these maps, just going off of Aura, I would really say Retrieval looks like it's my favorite. I hope that's going to be a competitive map. Looks really fun. Homestead definitely just looks like it's all out in the open. I don't see that being competitive. This map Exposure and this map Blackheart, these look like smaller maps. Like these look like tiny maps, smaller than Skyline. And depending on how the movement is in this game, we could see ourselves literally going across map in less than 3 seconds, which doesn't make that competitive at all. And we could see these maps not being played in, or it's all we got. We may have to play these maps, and we may be in another year where we kind of have, you know, a Skyline situation where it's a bang out map, not really that competitive, but damn, it's all we got. Now, talking about loadouts, it's pretty much the exact same thing from MW3 and Black Ops 6, where you have your primary, perks, a field upgrade, wildcard, but I really want to get into these overclocks for these grenades because I have no clue what they mean by overclock. Is that a perk? Will this get banned in competitive play? More than likely it will, but specifically look at stun grenades right here. So if you overclock your stun grenade, you can increase the stun duration, which I already know that's not going to be in competitive, but slows enemy movement down when stunned. It's very interesting on what the hell this means, because normally a stun grenade always slows down your movement. It always does. Yet you're telling me I need to level it up, or do I need to rank it up just to start slowing down people. Even the grenades have them, where the sticky grenade for the first time ever, apparently you can cook the fuse. Normally a Semtex, the second you throw it, it basically blows up in 2 seconds. Again, it feels like this would make public match unique in its own way. And of course, it just makes people want to play more to like level these things up. But I will say, once we get into these field upgrades, we're really gonna have some issues, because why do we have active camo as a field upgrade? So again, more than likely in ranked play, this will get auto banned, but why the hell is it that once you overclock it once, you can end up still being invisible after shooting your gun? What? Second thing, increased duration and faster charge time. They're gonna be popping camo 24/7. I can only imagine majority of people are gonna be using this when playing in public match. I also do wanna shout out mute field, which seems like it's just dead silence, which playing this game, maybe Ninja doesn't silent your little, wall bounce or anything. So this mute field could come into play for that, at least in competitive. But in competitive ranked play, I do expect mute field and the trophy to be played. I do hope that we have the echo unit and the active camo and see how overpowered this is. There always is an opportunity that in ranked play, this could be used, but it does offer a lot more randomness, so I don't see it being used. Of course, we have our wild cards again, which I highly expect perk greed to be used again, just simply because of the perks we have. Which, going over these perks, perk slot 1, fantastic. We got gung ho, dexterity, lightweight, ninja, which all of these perks for slot 1 are fantastic, but when you scroll down to slot 2, that's where we have nothing for competitive except for fast hands. There's fast hands, and then everything else like gearhead, blast link, close shave, assassin, hunter's instinct, scavenger, none of this will be used in ranked play. So it seems like in ranked play, your second slot will be fast hands, and then your first slot will have to either be lightweight, ninja, dexterity, or gung-ho, or flak jacket, or tac mask. And this is why I said perk greed is more than likely going to be used, just so you can throw on, let's say, ninja, flak jacket, and then your third perk could probably be lightweight. Now that being said, let's scroll down to perk 3, because in perk 3, we have tac sprinter. Now, if you guys don't know, in Black Ops 7, they removed tactical sprint, which is a second sprint where you go from running with your gun in both hands to running with your gun up in one hand. And a lot of people in competitive really hate this perk right here. But looking at the third slot, there's nothing else that would be used other than quartermaster for ranked play. So the way I see it is we more than likely have tac sprinter in ranked play and in competitive play unless we GA it and ban it. Therefore, we have to run perk greed, and then we're going to end up running probably lightweight, ninja, and then flak jacket or something like that. And don't even get me started with this specialty, just because once again, I do see this not even being used in ranked play. But if you guys remember from Black Ops 6, if you ran all red perks, every single time you got a kill, you would get a little speed boost and you would heal up. The recon perk, all blue perks, if you died and spawned in, you can see all the enemies through the wall. But now they have it where it's a hybrid, where if you have all blue and all red, you can get a bonus. If you have all green, all red, bonus, all blue, all green, bonus. So this is going to be really fun for public match. Now, I really can't go over the weapon balances at all. We just got to wait for the game to see how they turn out. Last but not least, all of the kill streaks seem like they're going to be the exact same in ranked play using a Hellstorm, RCXD, and that's about it. Maybe they could throw in like a napalm strike or something. But for public match, man, I can't wait to get this Rhino. Oh, and I forgot to mention Legion. Holy crap. I am so hyped that we finally have our Swarm back. If you guys remember, Swarm is a bunch of drones going up in the air and then just launching down onto the opponents for like 90 seconds straight. Absolutely love it. Again, talking about the movement real quick, from the beta, it looks really slow, but that could be because it's just the beta and like the FOV is, zoomed in. But I'm interested to see how these wall jumps play out, because you do lose speed after every wall bounce. Now, I think everyone's really not looking forward to the weapon prestiges and the camos because not only do you have to grind 50 levels to get your weapon up for all attachments, if you end up prestiging, you lose all those attachments, you have to get back up to level 50, and then again, you can do it a third time. I don't know why Call of Duty wants people to treat this like a full-time job just to level up weapons. Really, really annoying. But of course, for everyone who likes to grind, there is this option for you. You can get your weapon prestige level 250. That being said, going through the reveal, I am pretty excited for Black Ops 7 to release. I am looking forward to the beta and giving a more honest opinion on how I think this game is going to play out. So far, I'm going to say, again, with those 3 topics we went over earlier, I do think this game is going to be chalked if they don't fix the cheater situation or the server issues. Again, this was just my honest opinion for this trailer. Again, the title was a little bit clickbaity because we haven't got our hands onto this. But I do know, reading the comments, I can agree with a lot of the outrage with the 3 topics we went over earlier. And then looking at in-game, it does look enjoyable. The maps do look fun. I'm a little bit worried about the maps being too small. I'm worried about the movement being too slow. I'm very curious to see what these overclocks do for all the weapons and field upgrades. So honestly, I'm heading into this a lot more, I guess, nervous and unexpected with what will happen. And I'm honestly on the edge of saying Call of Duty might be chalked, but again, we gotta wait for the beta, we gotta wait for the full release, and of course, we gotta wait until the end of the game, because Black Ops 6, I thought Black Ops 6, we had a great product, and I was like, hey, everything's gonna be okay, we're gonna get updates throughout the year, we're gonna get new maps, they're gonna fix the cheater situation, and I was just, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. That game turned awful. Literally 1 year later, Black Ops 6, damn, what could have been? But is Black Ops 7 chalked or not? Let me know in the comments below. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Look out for the beta. I will be live streaming it, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much, and peace.